With the start of the Ukrainian counteroffensive, the presence of combat platforms in the air is of particular importance. Experts began to monitor not only what happens on the ground, but also in the sky. Attack aircraft and helicopters are not only the main scourge of tank columns and all types of advancing armored vehicles, but, alas, one of the first candidates for shooting down. Especially considering that the ranks of the Ukrainian army are literally filled with a huge number of Western and domestic anti-aircraft missile systems. In the last week with simply incredible frequency. Some unofficial sources on the eve published information, confirmed by the RIA agency, that one of the Ka-52s was subjected to 18 attacks at once by portable anti-aircraft systems, and calmly returned to the base without a single, what is called a scratch. This is a real record. And there are no miracles here. There is a systematic work of Russian designers and engineers, embodied in a product with a modest and not loud name VITEBS Ka-25. This name is known in the domestic market, however. For export, it is better known as President S. When the Vitebsk 25 air defense system was first presented at Eurosatory 2010 in Paris in 2010, many experts simply did not believe in its ability to deflect such a huge number of missiles. Five years later, Air International magazine published a report from the Egyptian Ministry of Defense, which had already targeted Russian Ka-52 helicopters and subjected them to a myriad of tests before purchase. The Vitebsk 25 mounted helicopter was then fired upon by 24 Russian West MANPADS missiles, none of which hit the target. Journalists of the publication also expressed doubts about whether there is no deception on the part of the Russians. Although, without a detailed specification, some Western media reports suggest that the Vitebsk 25 has laser countermeasures against surface-to-air and air-to-air missiles with flare-enhanced infrared guidance. The equipment can reportedly detect and jam threats at an azimuth of 120 degrees and an elevation of 60 degrees. Along with IR threats, the Vitebsk 25 detects and jams radar threats from 4 GHz per GHz to 18 GHz. Vitebsk 25, developed by the Moscow concern Radio-Electronic Technologies, methodically detects launches and warns the crew about them. And then his main work began. Passive protection included the release of well-known heat traps and chaff, but the matter was not limited to this. The active defense goes into action when the Vitebsk 25 directly engages the thermal homing systems of anti-aircraft missiles with infrared radiation and puts powerful jamming on the warhead for radar-guided targets. And the missiles of various anti-aircraft systems obediently went to false targets. The system uses a combination of sensors, including radar warning receivers, laser warning receivers, and missile approach warning sensors, to detect and locate incoming threats. It then deploys various countermeasures, such as chaff, flares, and electronic jamming, to confuse or disable the missiles. The system is designed to detect and jam radar signals, as well as to provide decoy signals to confuse enemy radar systems. It can also detect and track incoming missiles and provide countermeasures to defeat them. One of the key features of the Vitebsk 25 system is its ability to operate in a fully automatic mode, which allows it to quickly respond to threats without requiring input from the aircraft's crew. This feature makes the system highly effective in combat situations, where split-second decisions can mean the difference between life and death. The Weitbisk 25 system is also highly modular, which means that it can be easily integrated into a wide range of aircraft types and configurations. This makes it a versatile and flexible solution for military forces that operate a variety of aircraft. According to the Russians, the Weitbisk L-370 in its complete configuration is designed to protect an aircraft from both IR and radar-guided missiles, which can be tracked within a radius of several hundred kilometers. The Weitbisk is actually a modular system with components installed both inside the aircraft or on external attachment points. Weitbisk currently equips almost all the helicopters in the Russian Air Force, according to the mod, while the export variant, President S, has been delivered to Egypt for their Ka-52s and Mi-17s, Algeria for their Mi-17s, Mi-26s and Mi-28s, Belarus for their Mi-8s. The Russians refer to the system as invincible, after full-scale live fire tests were performed with a real Mi-8 on an elevated platform, with its engines running and no crew, at which 20 Igla-type missiles were fired and not one of them hit the target, as they were reportedly blinded by the jammers and flares. The new Su-57 Felon supposedly features a DIRCM system too, even if not related to Weitbisk, called 101K and part of the 101 Atoll electro-optical system, which is a novelty for a tactical jet. Similarly to the Mi-28's L-375L jammer, the system is housed in a transparent dome and mounted on the dorsal spine and under the fuselage of the aircraft.